Military families say their private base housing, again, private base housing done by contractors, is full of lead and mold and rats and roaches. That's according to a survey from the nonprofit Military Family Advisory Network. I want to show you some photos. These are from a family in Maryland who participated in that survey. They say a rainstorm caused the flooding, and that exposed lead paint, and the lead paint made them all sick. We've reached out to the housing company Corvius, I should say, and a spokesman tells us providing housing for our armed service members is a privilege, and Corvius is making changes necessary to meet the gold standard level of service both we and our residents expect. Well, the point is, from the families, they haven't gotten gold level. Some military families are testifying about their experiences today at a hearing on Capitol Hill that's ongoing, and Jennifer Griffin's monitoring it for us. She's at the Pentagon. Jen?
Shep, the testimonies we've heard today are heartbreaking in terms of the impact on the health of the families and children of the nation's 1.2 million service members and represents a major readiness issue. These photos are from inside some of the affected homes on MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida, and Laughlin Air Force Base in Texas. 3 of the thousands or so military families who have complained about poor housing conditions testified before the Senate Armed Forces Subcommittee moments ago. They blame birth defects and disease on the slum-like conditions.
I have felt the helplessness of a fellow Marine Corps spouse as she held her new baby and sobbed while we stood under a collapsing, moldy ceiling in her home at Camp Lejeune. I listened in horror as families at Camp Pendleton told of mice eating through pacifiers in their babies' cribs and electrical outlets catching fire due to wiring issues.
Constant sore throats, nosebleeds, brain fog, blurred vision, numbness, fatigue, debilitating headaches. Even the 4-year-olds complain daily of these headaches along with dizziness. Knowing headaches are not normal for a child of that age, I was concerned they may have cancer.
The Military and Family Advisory Network ran an online survey last month that received 16,000 responses from military families across the country, finding that 56% of those surveyed found living conditions in base housing was negative or very negative, with 6 base housing contractors mentioned over and over by respondents to the online survey: Lincoln, Balfour Beatty, Hunt, Corvius, Wynn, and Michaels Military Housing. We've reached out to those contractors. Some of them are testifying right now before the Senate committee. All of them responded and vowed to address the problems, but senators looked shocked as they looked on today and heard these women's testimony, Shep.
Wow. Jennifer, the housing system, tell us how that's set up.
Well, in 1996, conditions on U.S. military bases were so bad that the military privatized 99% of the base housing for active duty troops. Contractors moved in. It seemed like a good deal for the government. The Pentagon issued the following response, quote, "Each military department has processes in place to resolve tenant issues with privatized landlords, starting with contacting the private partner and installation housing office. If that does not resolve the issue, the resident can approach the installation commander and/or the local inspector general to file their complaint." All 3 of the military spouses we heard from in testimony today said the chain of command in the military had failed them. It was only after a Reuters news agency published an expose that they were finally heard.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Barak da Yahweh, Barak da Yahushai, Barak da Yahweh, Barak da Yahushai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahushai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Wakakwadash. Double honors to the apostle of Great Millstone who grew well and taught me this truth. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 7 through 9, is from the video that I put in post-production brought to you by Fox News. All right, where you clearly see that America is finished, which is known as Babylon in the scriptures. There's no healing this place. All right? Your own military is broken down and is fallen. And to see these reports that the housing conditions is affecting the health of families of soldiers, it clearly shows, indicating that America is not going to be able to win the next war. All right? Do you know how much of these soldiers' morale has been brought low because of this? So now let's get into this article, because it had to take a Reuters investigation to expose what has been going on for a long period of time. And that goes to show you that your high-ranking military officers from all branches of the service don't give a damn about the average soldier. That also shows that your politicians, senator, congressmen, all right, the Pentagon, they don't care about the soldier, which is, it really is a pawn. And so when the soldier sees this, they're like, wait a minute, why should I defend this country? And so that's why, hey, this is all what this is exposing. It is to the nations that are looking at America like, wait a minute, your military is weak. All right, this is a great time to take advantage. So let me get into this article. It says, ambushed at home. The hazardous, squalid housing of American military families. Poisoned on an army base. Wow. Being poisoned on an army base. These are your soldiers. That's why there's no healing America. There's no healing Babylon. All right, this place is fallen. Mice, mold, and landlords. On U.S. military bases, families housed in slum-like conditions battle powerful private landlords, yet have only limited tenant rights. Exactly, because these are privatized. All right? These are private companies that are in charge of these homes. All right? Shows you capitalism this is capitalism. Man, capitalism is off, and it's bullshit, because it's all about the mighty dollar. The military magnet. Reuters obtained confidential records detailing the millions flowing to military landlord Corbius as tenants clamor for repairs. Right, and that goes to show you that there's no competition. All right, millions are being poured into these private contractors. All right, yet the soldiers are not being taken care of. So what does that tell you, man? These soldiers are going to, break away from the military. With either when they see America being taken down by the Russians and the Chinese. All right, these soldiers are going to be like, what's the point of defending her? New construction peril. The military's $3 billion housing makeover has left tenants and buildings in poor conditions. Right, that's a lot of money. And still in poor conditions. Sickened at the guard. Girls' lead poisoning at a Louisiana National Guard post reveals how the military allowed safety hazards to persist and then severely understated the problem. Right, meaning lied. Said, oh, it's not that bad, even though it was. So this is what your military is being having to deal with. So what does that say? That says America is going out, man. Jeremiah 49:7 concerning Edom. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Right, man. There's no wisdom in America. This is all, everybody's in out for themselves. Nobody cares about nothing anymore. Everybody's about getting the dollar and screwing the next person over, all right? And that's what you see here in your own military. Verse 8, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Don, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. Right, and that's this. These are the indicators that that the Lord's about to make his return, right? And you Edomites, you so-called white people today, man, you're finished, all right? You're not going to be able to defend against the Lord and against the nations that are rising up against you, because that's the first thing that's going to happen. These nations are going to rise up against you before the Lord makes his appearance. Verse 9, if grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they had enough. Right, and that's the thing is, you use your military to take over the whole world, and yet you don't even take care of your own military, man. That's crazy. All right? Verse 10, but I've made Esau a bear. Right, this is making Esau a bear, man. The prophets of Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right? They're exposing America's downfall. All right? And you're being now revealed, America, as being a weak nation. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. Right? You're not going to be able to hide yourself anymore. All right? You're being exposed on all fronts. Your military is weak. Your economy is in dire straits, where you're in right now. Nobody's talking about your $22 trillion debt ceiling that you reached. All right? And reports have been coming out that if you don't come up with a economic plan, policy for the next fiscal year, you're going to run out of cash by October and September. You can look that up. But I made Esau bare, back to Jeremiah 49:10. But I made Esau bare, I've uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, his neighbors, and he is not right. And you're not going to be able to hide yourself, man, all right? You're being revealed as a weak nation, all right? Your own military is suffering, and that's why, okay, this is a snare upon you, America. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 22. A sound of battles in the land and a great destruction. Right, destruction is coming to America. Your military is not going to be able to defeat the Russians, the Chinese, the Iranians, as well as NATO. Okay, with these conditions, man. All right, and it's only getting worse. How is the hammer of the whole earth? Verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder, broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Right, and these are one of these factors: having a weak military. Verse 24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. Thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. Right, and this is judgment from the Lord. All right, so that to a point that your military is suffering. All right, that's why the morale is low. That's why you have a high increase in suicide rate among your active military servicemen. This is from Army Times. Suicide among active duty soldiers are up about 20%. Okay. The Army reported an uptick in active duty suicide in 2018, according to service statistics, though deaths by suicide were slightly down in total force. Out of 300 total reports, all right, 138 came from the active duty side, 22 more than in 2017. The Defense Department statistics show. Like the rest of Americans, the Army continues to grapple with the loss of too many of our people to suicide. Army spokesman Colonel Kathleen Turner told Army Times in a statement Friday, quote, the loss of any soldier of Army family member to suicide is a tragedy. Right. Why are they committing suicide? Well, look at the conditions they're living in. All right. And then they're fighting endless wars. Here's another article. Military mulls medical personnel cuts even as suicide rates rise. Right. This came out February 11th. So as suicide rates are rising, you're having the military cut medical personnel. Why? Here's the reason why. The Defense Department is weighing the option of cutting thousands of uniformed medical personnel, including psychologists and other mental health professions, even as military leaders grapple with rising suicide rates among troops. With the National Defense Strategy pushing for a more lethal force, Pentagon leaders are considering slashing as many as 17,000 uniformed medical corps billets across all services. Right, because they want to transition these 17,000 uniformed medical corps into warfighters, combat-ready soldiers, because they got to get ready to fight the Russians, the Chinese, the Iranians, as well as NATO. Okay, America, you're finished. The move, which could go into effect in October 2020, would open more slots for troops in combat arms specialties or other war-fighting jobs. You see that? That's the reason why. Okay, hey, and that's that snare. Okay, that's that snare upon you Americans that are living here lolly-dolly. All right, your military is crumbling. All right, you're seeing an uptick in suicide rate. All right. And all this is doing is preparing America's downfall. All right. That's why Babylon is fallen. It cannot be healed. There's no healing this place. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, because you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, you need to understand that you're the children of Israel, and you need to stop believing in America, all right? Stop believing in this place which is known as spiritual Egypt. All right, this place is through. Isaiah 36:6, lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed. All right, this place is a broken reed, all right? On Egypt, wherein if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it, right? You're putting your trust in America while it's falling, man. This place is done. Like, look what they're doing to their own soldiers. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trusted him. Right, and anybody who still trusted in Donald Trump in 2019, you're an idiot. All right? Donald Trump can't save America. There is no making America great. There is no making America great again. It's over. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. So what are the soldiers going to do when the Russians engage in the warfare on America, and when the Chinese engage in warfare on America, and when the Iranians engage in warfare on America, as well as NATO engage in warfare on America, right? Jeremiah 51:28, prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captives thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion, right? Because the Russians are going to spearhead the invasion on America. Verse 29, and the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon desolation without an inhabitant, right? Because when the nukes fly and hit this place, no one's going to be living here after, all right? This proves that this is talking about America. All right, this is not talking about Iraq, because people are still dwelling in Iraq to this very day. Verse 30, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. Right, forborne to fight. Your military soldiers are going to not fight for America, all right? They're going to be like, the hell with this place. Look how they're treating me and my family, all right? And when you look up the word forborne, all right, forborne, it means to stop, cease, desist, right? Meaning ceasing from fighting. Leave, come to an end, leave off, to cease, okay? Be idle, forsake, right? The soldiers are going to forsake America. They're not going to defend this place. Hello, look, and it makes sense. Look how they're being treated, okay? You have to have a Reuters, okay, a news media to, okay, bring about now a congressional hearing to the living conditions, okay, on the basis, on the housing, with, on the military installation. That's crazy. That's why they're not going to fight anymore. Okay, they're going to be like, the hell with America, the hell with Babylon, right? It's only rightfully so. All right. The mighty Babylon have born to fight. They have remained in their holes. Their might have failed. They became as women, right? As women. And you know women, all right, they like to be taken care of. All right? And they're like, you know what? I don't want to fight the Russians. I don't want to fight the Chinese. I don't want to fight the Iranians. I don't want to fight NATO. America don't even treat me well. The hell with this place. All right? The Russians are way powerful anyway. All right? They're going to constantly, all right, come up with ways of why they shouldn't fight for America. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken, right? Verse 31. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end, right? That's when you're going to know America's be taken, when your soldiers don't want to fight for this place anymore, all right? When they're scared, all right? And they became as women, okay? Verse 32. And that the passages are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with, Salakia, and the men of war are affrighted, right? They're going to be fearful, man, because the Russians are not going to take no prisoners, man. The Russians sees this as an opportunity now, all right? That's the reason why the elite of America are building bunkers. They know America's through. Verse 33, for the Lord saith, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come, right? And the time of her harvest is coming, where America will be judged for all its wickedness, all its iniquity, all right? And your military is not going to be able to save you because they won't even care about this place, all right? And it only makes sense. I understand why they won't. Look how they're being treated. Last scripture. This should hit home to you military personnel. And you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans that are in the military branches, you need to get out now. Either go AWOL, all right? Hey, take the hit in prison, all right? You can do the work in prison, all right? But get out of the United States military, all right? They don't give a damn about you, okay? And you should know this. Let these Edomites fight for their piece of shit country that don't even give a damn about them. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, you need to return to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You are the children of Israel. Book of Sirach, chapter 26, verse 28. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty, right? This angers the Lord, all right? This is a shame, all right? So you talk about, you so-called Christians here in America, you talk about that America is a God-fearing country. America believes in the Bible. Well, guess what? All right, you're supposed to be taking care of your men of war, not putting him in this condition. That's the reason why America is going down, because it doesn't give a damn about their men of war, both active military and veterans. And it's beautiful, man. America has to go. And the men of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteous to sin, the Lord prepares such one for a sword, right? And a sword's coming, man. Coming in a big way to this place, all right? Because this place has to be judged for everything it's been doing, all right? Here and abroad, especially to the children of Israel. And with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Wakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostle of great millstone who well and taught me this truth. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring, keep the faith. And with that, shalom.